Hey everyone, I'm Connor, and this is my co-host Johnny.
Welcome to our podcast, Dad Shoes.
Have you ever wondered where a dad joke comes from?
Or how dads just seem to have great wisdom for the moment?
Or you're just trying to figure out what your dad was thinking? Maybe you are a dad, and you just need to hear,
Hey man, us too.
well, we're learning what it's like to wear the dad shoes.
And we'd like to invite you to join us on this journey. But first things first, Connor, how was your weekend without a mommy?
Well, my mommy was there, which made it a little bit easier.
Bet.
both of our wives went on a Mary Kay retreat this last weekend.
I'm not ashamed to admit my wife sells Mary Kay. It's a new thing for both of our wives.
Yeah.
But hey, hit us up. We're gonna send some links in the titles. Dads.
Sure, not a sponsor, but we'll sell you some stuff.
We'll sell you some stuff.
It's not just makeup, it's skincare.
It's
skincare is in these days.
It is. And Wednesday, we're recording this on Thursday after Veterans Day. And Wednesday is apparently Red Lipstick Day. I didn't know that. I found that out. We went out we had to go to the store last night, and my wife's got on red lipstick. I'm like, why are you putting lipstick on? Well, it's Red Lipstick Day. You're going to put a mask on. Said it should be Red Eyeliner Day or something. And Mary Kay does not have red eyeliner, unfortunately. But anyways,
interesting
interruption.
I don't think I've
Mary
ever
Kay is
seen
great.
red
It's
eyeliner.
skincare and not just makeup. It is. They do have a men's line, which I'm not gonna say I use on a daily basis because that would be a lie. But I have used some of their stuff.
I use the face wash every day.
Oh, I don't.
It's not like I chose it, though. My wife just said, hey, here's some face wash. Cool.
As much as I wash my face, I use.
They don't have any like beard products. Maybe I'd be a little more inclined to use those.
That could be something. We should tell them. You guys need to start selling.
We should pitch that.
Selling beard.
A
products.
sponsorship deal.
Yeah. The Dad Shoes beard cream. That sounds gross. Cream in their beard. Ugh.
A beard balm is what they call it.
Anyways, they went on a retreat for Mary Kay.
So we had the kids alone, separated. I had my kids, you had your kids.
Yes. It would have been weird had I had your kids and you had my kids.
It would have been less weird. I wouldn't know what to do with your kids.
I wouldn't know what to do with your kids. But it would have been less weird if we had each other's kids together.
Yeah, like if we did a thing together.
I thought about saying, dude, you guys should come up here, but my house isn't.
No,
that big.
I'm glad we stayed home because I still had to
too.
work like that weekend. I still had to do church on Sunday and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness that my mommy was around to help out. We had a Nana. I'll admit, I was a little worried about you because I don't know, like your wife stays home with the kids all day.
Yeah, she's
Our household is a little bit more split because we both have full-time jobs. We both work from home.
Right.
She works from home full-time. I'm just home sometimes. But both our kids are in school, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Friday, I got to send my kids to school. We got them in, no problem. I picked them up, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bedtime was a little rough each night. That, I think, was the hardest, most
Did y'all
stressful
do the divide
part.
and conquer?
Yes and no. But ever since the time changed, my son has not liked going to bed. But that's a whole other
That's
topic.
such a weird thing, too.
It is weird. Tonight, we did great.
Awesome.
Like, he went to bed, no problem. Didn't ask for water. It was awesome. But I was worried about you because I don't know, like, we don't really talk about how often you are alone with your kids, like,
I'm
without your
never
wife.
alone with my kids. It's become an occasional thing lately where if my wife has a Mary Kay meeting, and this is before they started selling Mary Kay, they were doing this thing pretty much at the start of COVID, like April, I think they had their first meeting. And
well, they were doing the parties before they became affiliates.
Right.
They were attending parties
on
before
Zoom,
they became,
right?
like, whatever they call it. What do they call them?
I think they call them parties.
Well, they call them parties, but, like, what did our wives become?
Consultants.
Like, not affiliates. Consultants.
They are affiliates because
much
they are
better word.
affiliated with Mary Kay, but that's different. But anyways, before that, they started doing this. It would be my job to make sure the kids were down. And they were smart. They scheduled them after 8 o'clock. My kids go down around 8. Today, we actually had a little bit of an issue because Charlotte May didn't want to go to sleep. I'll take this kid over the kid I had on Saturday any day. She didn't want to go to sleep, but she was lovey. She was hyper. right? She wanted to play.
Mhm.
And then I finally got her in. She just wanted me to keep singing, different song, a different song. And a little bit of an issue. But, I've got stuff to do. We got a late start on our walk. And then, it just kind of pushed everything back. So I didn't get on until almost 9:00. And Saturday was a completely different issue for me because
Mhm.
she woke up early. And I mean, by early, I mean 6:00. I'm usually out the door by 6, shortly after 6. I've been home all week. I mean, I've had some time off the last week. I just decided to take off Halloween because it's Halloween and I had time to take off. And then they told me that, we're doing a retreat, so I took off the rest of the week, and like that whole first week in November, and it was great. I've been home with my kids. We did a lot of projects around the house. It's been really awesome. But Saturday, like she's been getting up early, but Saturday she just was done. She woke up early, and almost from the moment my feet hit the ground, she was whining. And she was whining, and not just like screaming whining for 2 solid hours. It was fine. It was like 8:30, and I lost it. And I yelled at her. My voice is still a little scratchy from it, and man, I felt terrible because I yelled at my kid, and then.
And that never helps.
No, it doesn't ever help. But it
doesn't help Titus.
Oh my word!
Now they're crying for a whole other reason.
Yeah, now they're like, oh great, now Daddy's mad, and so that was terrible. But apart from Saturday, we had a great weekend. And after, so a buddy of mine called me at like 10:00 on Saturday morning. He calls me every morning on his way into work, so it's kind of cool. So he calls me, and I'm like, I'm just out of my mind. And he called, and it was almost like as soon as he hung up, she was fine, and we had a great rest of the day. So it was just Saturday morning. Sunday was great. We went down to my mother's house. Neither of the girls napped. So my mom
a good weekend.
was down by you guys. So I went down there, took her car to pick the girls up at a friend's house and from the airport, and so
the rest is history.
The rest is history. But it was. I actually had a really good week and a fine weekend. I didn't get anything done. What was it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because Thursday I came down to see you guys, and then the girls went out of town, and then I had the kids Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we came down, and I thought that they were supposed to be like arriving in Palm Beach County around 3:00.
Yes.
Their plane didn't land until almost 4.
No, and they were coming in. We were experiencing some
Ada
tropical storm force winds from Ada. I'll tell you, that Sunday though, like that afternoon was rough because like I was excited for Marcy to come home. I got the kids down for a nap early that afternoon, and then like I showered, I shaved, like I got ready for her to come home and see her. And just the longer it took, just the angrier I got. It's like the worse it was. Not like angry, but just annoyed. Like, I was excited for her to be home, and then by the time she finally got home, I don't think she came in the door until like 6:30. When she told me she would be home about 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's when I thought she would be home.
It was right around 6:30.
Yeah, now it's like 2 hours later, and I'm just like, I'm done. The kids are eating dinner. Like we, what did we have for dinner that night? Something special. I think we had fish. I think we had some mahi, and I was like just really excited, like a good dinner for my wife to come home to, and then just was not home in time to eat. I was like really annoyed with that.
That sucks.
But it was a good weekend. I mean, we had Nana, so she was able to watch the kids when I had to go to work on Sunday morning. But it's weird, especially with Riley. She's very attached to Marcy still.
Yeah, so's
she's very attached to mommy. But she didn't complain too much. It was just bedtime, and we had a little bit of that. I'd get Riley down, no problem. In the process of going to bedtime routine with Titus, he would freak out, start screaming, wake up Riley.
Oh, jeez.
The ultimate parent nightmare. One of your kids wakes up the other kid.
See, that's the only reason they sleep in different rooms for us.
Yeah. I mean, the house we're in is just not big enough. We're in the bathroom 2 rooms away.
Yeah.
And he is still screaming loud enough to wake her up. And it's just nothing you can do. I was thinking about it today. Kids are like especially 2-year-olds,
They're just loud.
the most stubborn human beings in existence.
Does Titus ever do like
Drugs?
when you ask
No.
him to take a bath?
No, he's not
No,
doing
he's straight edge.
He's straight edge.
Does he ever like you say, "Hey Titus, let's go take a bath"? Does he ever say, I can't take a bath"?
No, he just straight up says no.
It's so
Like, all right, hey Titus, let's go take a bath. No.
he says it like that, not like no.
Yeah. Sometimes he gets a little mean about it. He's like, no.
So yeah, so ours is always Charlotte may do whatever, and she says, I can't do whatever, and usually it's stop whining, because that's her thing. I can't stop whining, and oh my god, just shut up. And that was our issue Saturday.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's a 2-year-old thing, and Titus does a lot of whining as well, and we just kind of say like, nope, you need to use your manners, say please, say thank you, correct yourself, ask again. But with Titus, it's a control issue.
yeah,
You know, he wants to be in control, and it's not just meal times and like what we do. Like, he's a picky eater, but it's a control thing. You know, he wants to be in control of what he eats.
interesting.
So if we just give him a plate without asking, he won't eat it because he's like, no, I need to choose this. And so when we want him to do something, we have to frame it as a choice. Like, hey, do you want to do this or this?
We don't get the decision.
Yeah. Well, and it's about giving them the choice, but giving them choices that you're okay with. So like tonight, we talked about my son's a really picky eater. Tonight, after having this conversation with our guest next week, I said to him, like, okay, for dinner, usually I say, what's for dinner? And what's his answer every time? Food. Titus, what do you want for dinner? Food. Okay, well, how about this? This is food. No. Okay, how about this? No. So instead, we were having spaghetti. And so I gave him the choice because he likes waffles. And that's a quick, easy thing to make. Stick in the toaster. Okay, Titus, do you want spaghetti or waffles? It's like, I want waffles. And there you go. We have our answer. And now we don't have to have a fight. And he ate the waffles. He actually said, I want waffles and spaghetti. Which this is the other thing of like, you just can't convince the 2-year-old to do even what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
I want waffles and spaghetti. I put waffles and spaghetti on his plate. He sits down. I don't want spaghetti. Like, no, you said you wanted spaghetti.
Spaghetti, right.
So he ate the waffles. He ate everything else. Just didn't want the spaghetti.
Have you gotten you don't have to eat it. Just leave it on your plate.
Yeah, we do that. We do that.
We have, depends on the day, we have an issue with that. Sometimes it'll stay on the plate, and other times it goes on the table, and sometimes it goes on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I don't see that, because then I have to be upset about that. I don't want to be upset with my kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's we try to keep it on the plate. We tell them, like, you don't have to eat it, but you got to leave it on your plate. You got to get used to seeing this thing on your plate that you're going to eat. Hopefully, eventually. And usually it's chicken.
Hopefully. He'll eat
put chicken on his plate. He won't eat chicken, but we'll leave chicken on his plate, and we'll say, you got to leave it there.
Okay.
So that's like our line in the sand. You got to leave it on the plate. You don't have to eat it. And he usually is okay with that, as long as he's got something on his plate. But, now we're trying this give choices thing. So we'll give that a shot. We'll talk more about that next week.
So, yeah, so that's interesting. I don't know. Other than our Saturday, we had a great day. We went to the park. We have a park about, I think it's a mile away. I'm thinking 2 miles, but I think that's because it's a mile each way. And a little playground, nice little area. The dog wanted to come, so she had to come. She actually ran out of the house and wouldn't go back in. She's sitting by the stroller, but she's like, "You're going for a walk, and I'm coming with you, dadgum." And so I took the dog with me, and Mabel was in the stroller. Charlotte May was walking most of the way, which is actually, to think a 2-year-old walking a mile, that's
a long way.
That's a long walk, and we do probably 3/4 of a mile every night, just around our block. And this was just, we're going to walk during the day, and we're going to take a walk down to park, and we walked down to the park, had a great little walk, and then we had a walk at night. Great time. It really was. It was a good little day on Friday.
Time waster.
Yeah, and that's
Gotta
the
fill the
biggest
day
one.
with something.
But I don't ever think about it until the afternoon, and then by the time they wake up from their nap, you really don't have time to go do anything.
No, that's
Yeah.
the day. Like on the weekends, it's like you do something kind of big in the morning, you wear them out, you get them ready for a nap, and then post nap, it's like
I
wake
gotta
up,
get ready for dinner.
hang out, start making dinner. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did a lot of trails when we were in North Carolina with Titus,
that's awesome.
and he would walk, but we definitely like we figured, oh, he'll be fine. He's super full of energy. Like this is
Mhm.
going to be great. But he did not walk as long as we thought he would. You know,
Yeah.
he would get tired. He's 2. I mean, his legs are a
They're little.
fourth the size of mine. You know,
So-
he had fun exploring, but like he would get to a point where he would just stop and he would just stand in the middle of the path and was just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
How long about?
I don't know. I mean, we'd probably been walking for 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay, that makes sense. So it
Um,
takes us about a 20-minute hike to go around our block, and I say it's about 3/4 of a mile, but I think it's about a third of a mile from one street to the other, and then probably a quarter mile if you include both end caps. So
Mhm.
a third, and then a quarter. So I think I haven't measured it out. I don't really know, but that's just my thought on that. But
Yeah. Let me run something by you here. I got a couple topics that I want to hit today.
Yeah.
Make sure that we cover them. Now we live in South Florida, right? It's
Mm.
hot. It is hot in South Florida.
Yeah.
Air
like it.
conditioning.
wasn't
I don't
invented
know.
in the 60s. Well,
I know.
It was,
I think
but-
about that. Yeah, I think about that just in terms of why do I live in Florida? It's so hot. It is so hot here. But I want to talk about a common dad trope,
yeah,
right? Don't touch
Oh.
the thermostat.
I know it well.
We almost named our podcast "Don't Touch the
Don't
Thermostat."
touch the thermostat. Yeah, that was the short list.
That was on the list. Yeah. So, what does I asked a couple other dad friends, what does "Don't touch the thermostat" mean in your family?
Like, what is our thermostat?
Like, well, for me, it's hot in South Florida.
Yeah.
I like it cold. So I keep the thermostat as low as I possibly can,
Yeah, okay.
without feeling too guilty about the money I'm spending. So, and if the people I asked, this was like kind of international, throughout our country, throughout the country, and
Sure.
some in UK, some in Canada. What does "Don't touch the thermostat" mean for you? So
Like,
what
is
about
it turn it
you?
up or turn it down?
Is it turn it up? Why? What is the trope? Why can't people touch your thermostat?
So the way I've always viewed it, it's don't turn it down. Don't make it colder because it's going to make it work harder. We live in Florida, so it's hot. So you could go the other way and say that, somewhere up north, like Wisconsin, right?
Mm-hmm.
There, don't touch the thermostat. Don't make it warmer. Just put on another flipping blanket,
Yeah.
right? Because it's cold there, and making it hot costs money. So I could see it go either way. For me, don't touch the thermostat because I set it at a point where I think everybody's going to be comfortable, and I'm okay paying that electric bill.
Yeah.
And we live in different times because my house has dual pane insulated windows. They're gas filled. I'm pretty sure the gases escape because the seal's broken, but they are dual pane insulated windows.
Mhm.
When I was growing up, I lived in houses in Miami that had jalousie windows, single pane jalousie windows with window shaker units. Like we didn't have central AC. Those
Uh-huh.
houses were built before house AC existed. So if you're gonna be messing with all the thermostats around, you're gonna be wasting air. You want to air condition your bedroom? Go ahead. You leave, you better turn that thing off. It's just gonna
Yeah.
be blowing
If you
cold
got the
air.
window
Nobody's
unit,
in there.
yeah.
It's not gonna work,
That was my understanding of the whole question was like, you don't want to, typically when you think of "Don't touch the thermostat," it's don't make it warmer because you can just put on more clothes. Like, I don't want to pay to heat the house, just put on
Right.
more clothes.
Right.
But in South Florida, it's like the opposite. It's
So,
like, I'm
okay.
willing to pay that electric bill even though you all are freezing because I want to be cold. I think dads just want to be cold.
See, so
That's
that's
what I'm
funny
getting from
because
this.
my view is the opposite. What I see that as don't make it hotter because you can just put clothes on. But when I was growing up, if somebody ever said don't touch the thermostat, I just assumed they didn't want it to be any colder. Right? Don't make it colder. Leave it where it is. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just open a window.
Well, we grew up in
Turn a
Florida,
fan.
so this is some
Right.
of the answers. This guy says, this guy Jody, I'm in snowy Canada. I keep it at 20 degrees Celsius year round and 17 at night. That's like the difference between 78 and 72 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's freaking cold. Actually, 78 isn't that cold.
No, 78, that's warmer than I keep the house. My ideal, I think I try to keep it around 74. That's where I like it to be. I see you huffing. I remember coming to your house one day. We were doing work outside with the youth group.
Yeah.
And we came in and you were like, y'all feel that cold air? It's 80 degrees in here.
Yep.
That just proves it. You don't have to put it below that. And you made a real big deal about it.
I just think so. I work outside all day, and I get people who are like, "It's hot. It's hot. It's hot." It's not hot.
Mhm.
If you're acclimated to the temperature, it's not hot. It is hot, relatively speaking. And if you spend all of your time out in the sun, then yes, you're going to get overheated. But if you've been working outside all day and you walk inside, so let's say it's 100 degrees outside in Florida, baking in the sun, and you walk inside and it's 80 degrees, that's a 20-degree difference. Your body is going to react drastically to that. It's not a safe thing to do. So, 80 degrees feels great when you've been outside all day in the sun.
Sure. Mark says, mine never goes above 15 Celsius, even in the middle of winter. That's like 68.
Yeah. So my dad was like that. He always wanted the AC set. About 68 was his like preferred number.
60,
And I just, if my house right now, we have an issue with the air conditioner. I don't know what it is, but my girls' rooms are hot. Mabel's room is the hottest room in the house. I'll have the AC set to 75. She's on the east side, so in the afternoon she shouldn't be getting any sun. It'll be, baking in her room. The house is 75 degrees. She's baking. So at night we drop it to 70 because my room gets freaking cold. But I can put on
70 degrees. Wow.
Yeah, dude, that is so cold.
That is freezing. We bump it. I like, if I'm feeling like really empowered, I'll put it on 74. I'm like, you know what? I deserve it. I'm getting 74 tonight. 75 is where we usually put it at night. 77 during the day.
Yeah, see, I set it to 70. I set it to 80. Well, I used to when nobody was home, just to keep it running so it would keep the humidity down.
Yeah.
That's an issue you have in Florida. But yeah, otherwise 70 degrees, man. It's been cold. And I like I said, I do have double pane insulated windows. It's a little bit more efficient than just jalousie windows on a house. Jalousie windows are the ones that, they open up.
Yeah,
they
you
got
got the
the
little
little
crank.
like 4-inch things and you crank them and they open up. They look like louvers. Yeah, for anybody that listens and doesn't live in Florida, I don't know if they have jalousie windows anywhere else.
I mean, they probably used to, but everybody else was like, these windows suck. Let's move on.
Right, unless you need them to keep your house cold.
Here's one. This is what Chris says. He says, I still lock... He's got language. I'm going to try and filter it out.
All right, cool.
I still lock that thing down. Only way to access it is via web app. When my kids were younger and tried sleeping all day, I would kick the heater up to 90. So that's brutal.
Man, that is, I like. Who's that?
Ask this guy Chris.
I like Chris, man.
Bump it up to 90. That is brutal.
I wonder where they live.
He didn't say.
Dad, it's so hot in here.
That's so funny. See, my room growing up was like Mabel's room. It was the hottest room in the house, and I don't know why. It was just I had the smallest vent, I guess.
Yeah, we
eventually fixed it. When I was in high school, we actually added an extra vent. Like the AC guy was already there for something, and so he actually ran another vent to my room. So I had two in there, which is now Titus's room. He's sleeping in there, so we have to close one because it gets so cold. But that's what I wonder too. Like we started bumping it down at night because we noticed Riley slept better if we really bundled her up at night and then bumped down the AC.
Yeah,
like we had to do both.
Well, of course, because otherwise she's really hot.
Yeah, like she really loves fuzzy things, like fuzzy blankets, fuzzy pajamas. Loves it.
Because they're fuzzy or because they're warm?
Because I just figured it's
Because
it's
they're
fuzzy.
cozy?
Because it's cozy. I don't know. Well, she'll have her blanket on the ground and she'll just kind of walk by it and see it and then face plant right into it because she wants to rub her face on it.
That's cute.
So we have to bundle her up and then we bump down the AC. But then I think about, like, if I'm in my bed, Titus doesn't sleep under a blanket because he just moves and it comes
Right.
off of him. He's in like thin long pants and sleeves,
Right.
and I'm in my bed under a comforter and a sheet and I'm still a little cold. I'm like, man, that kid must be freezing.
So my daughter, as you have discovered, doesn't like clothes. She likes to not have clothes on. And I have, like on the weekends, we'll get up and just forget to turn the AC back up because our old house had a programmable thermostat. And I just, I haven't gotten to it yet. It's money that I don't need to spend right now, so I'm not going to. But we have to remember to adjust the AC. And so I don't remember. So middle of the day, it's 70 degrees in my house. And my kid is running around stark naked. And you know what? I try to get her to put clothes on just because when we go places like people's houses, you need to put clothes on. You can't just take them off and run around. So we try to do that, get her to wear clothes. But at night, she'll frequently she'll sleep in a diaper. That's it. Maybe she's got a blanket on, maybe not. And you look at the thing and the monitor, maybe you can tell. But how does she sleep in them?
It sounds like Charlotte might have a similar issue that Titus's cousin had.
Yeah.
She got in trouble at school today for mooning everybody. 3-year-old.
That's so funny.
I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that's the word that came to me. She showed her butt to everybody, so she got in trouble.
I'm not saying we should body shame children, but maybe keep your butt in your pants.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
people don't always want to see that,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's not about body shaming. It's just about like
keep yourself to yourself.
Keep your body to yourself. Yeah, I don't want to see other kids' butts. I don't always want to see my kids' butts.
My kid, but because of that, she does she'll just, if I can get her to put a dress on, it's a win, right? So we're doing the potty training, so we don't fight with the underwear. Although sometimes she's got to put them on. I need my panties. And what is the old dad standby for playing with your kid? We talked about it last time.
The old dad standby?
Yeah. Just laying on the floor.
Oh, laying on the ground? Yeah.
Laying on the ground. Well, you know what happens when you're just laying on the ground and your kid doesn't have any underwear on? They try to put their butt in your face.
You get body parts in your face.
You get body parts in your face, dude. And man, I don't want that. I don't want your butt in my face.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this weekend, my girls were in clothes, cute clothes, all weekend because I figure I want to have the opportunity to go places. So if you're dressed, I don't have to worry about it. Let's slap a new diaper on you and get out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go looking for new clothes.
We did have a sleeping issue this morning.
Oh, yeah?
I think Titus has been having some bad dreams lately.
Yeah?
So my kids were up. I text you. I said, I'm not playing Halo with you anymore on weekdays. Because I didn't go to bed until 12:30, and then my kids were awake at 4:45.
Ain't it just fun?
Oh, my gosh. And so I had to have a talk with Titus today. I said, monsters aren't real, man. Vampires are not real unless you count Dracula.
Count Dracula.
There you go. I knew it would hit.
Like, unless you count Dracula. Wait, okay, where's the punchline? Oh, that was good.
There it is.
My sympathies for you. That was my Tuesday. I woke up Tuesday morning at 4:30 to my daughter. Daddy, wake up. Daddy, I want to watch Frozen. Roll over. And I'm thinking, all right, she usually gets up when I'm supposed to get up, which is irritating. But no, it's 4:30. I I have another half hour before I want to get up. Just come into bed. Come into bed. So I pull her into bed. She lays down and then gets herself up, sits up, and says, "No, no, I want to watch Frozen." And she's super sweet. Like, this is the kid I want to give everything to. Just okay, all right, let's go watch Frozen. So we get up. I get the TV on. I get to Frozen. She goes, "No, I can't watch Frozen." What do you mean you can't watch Frozen? I can't watch Frozen. Bunny. Zootopia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, watch Bunny. So I put on Bunny. No, I can't watch Bunny. Okay. And she's not whining. She's just telling me, "I'll do it. You talk to me like that, I'll do whatever you want, kid." And finally, she's like falling asleep in my lazy boy in front of the TV as we try to find something for her to watch. So I put on, they have this National Geographic has behind the scenes at Animal Kingdom or something. Backstage at Animal Kingdom. Anyways, it's narrated by Josh Gad. So there you
Interesting.
go. It's actually pretty cool.
Check that out.
It was fun. It was really cool. We watched about 20 minutes of it, the first 30-minute episode, and she says, "I watched Lion King." All right, I'll put on the Lion King. You asked me so nicely. You weren't whining. You just informed me. I want to watch the Lion King. Please. Okay. So we put on the Lion King. That was on when I left. About 6 o'clock, I walked in when my wife said, "Hey, babe, Charlotte May's up. She's watching the Lion King. I gotta go to work." So she got up and
she's all good. She's got a bowl of cereal. She'll be fine.
Yep. No cereal. Just sitting on the couch. I was actually surprised she stayed awake that whole time. But seriously, 4:30, man, she was up. And you texted me this morning when I saw that. I lolled.
It was not fun.
Yeah,
because it's the same thing. It's the every parent's nightmare. Titus woke up. He had a bad dream. He really did have a bad dream. That wasn't just for the joke.
Yes.
And so he starts screaming, and he wakes Riley up. And when
Oh.
Riley's awake, it's 2 hours. It's a 2-hour commitment,
Mhm.
no matter what. Unless it happens to be like before midnight, it's okay. But anytime after midnight, it's a 2-hour commitment. So 4:45, she's not getting sleepy again until 6:45, which is time to wake up. So that's when we just get a cup of coffee and we sit down and we watch the news.
So, have you noticed that much of the media on like Disney Plus and Netflix, like designed for kids, is just too old? It's either too old for them or too stupid for them. I think it's too stupid. Like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, it's like it's asking more from her than she can mentally give.
Sure.
But
I wasn't
some
sure
of
which way
it's-
you were going on there because I feel like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse asks more than they can give, but I didn't know if you were going to say Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is just really dumb.
But then on the other hand,
Titus
it's
can't answer all
stupid.
those questions.
And yeah, so they'll say, "Oh, do you see, where do you see the sheep sound coming from?" And then they shake the triangle bush, right? Well, the triangle bush, she knows what a triangle is.
Yeah.
So, but she doesn't. I don't think she can comprehend. I'm supposed to answer this.
Sure.
And this is
yeah,
interactive.
and sometimes when I am watching with Titus, like if I'm there and it asks a question, then I will ask Titus, like, "Well, do you see the triangle?"
Me too.
Yeah, it's right there. You kind of prompt him with it. But that brings up something else I wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
and that is Blippi. Have you heard of Blippi yet?
No. Oh, what is
Blippi, it's like a phenomenon in children these days. My son found this show. He's got a tablet, so when he gets like his tablet time, it's an Amazon Fire with the kids.
Yep, we just
thing
bought
and
one for Christmas.
and yep, and this is my one critique of the Amazon Kindle Fire for kids. You can't turn off app downloads. Like the App Store is just always there and always open.
Mhm.
So if they want to get a new app, they just click on it. It automatically downloads and they can jump in. It's all free. It doesn't cost any money, but unless you pre-download apps and then keep the Wi-Fi off so that it can't access the store, like they can just download whatever app they want. He gets into all kinds of crazy
I
stuff.
think you can put a password.
I tried. Like for the kids store, for whatever they call it, the Amazon Free Time, you can only set an age range for the content that it shows, but it will always like just show them everything. And it's all random, like coloring apps and little dumb games.
Interesting.
So Titus clicks around. There's nothing he can get into that's dangerous.
Sure.
But
well, hopefully.
not that he's found yet anyway. I haven't found anything. But he found this show called Blippi, and it's Blippi.
I just Googled it.
Yeah, and so this is the weirdest freaking kid show I've ever seen in my life. It looks so creepy because the production quality is so low. Every episode is one take. Like there's no jump cuts. There's nothing. It's just a camera following this 25-year-old looking dude who's acting like a 3-year-old. And it's very, I don't want to say very, it's educational, at least. At least they're learning. So we watched one tonight, and it was body parts, and he's just kind of teaching you about body parts. But I look over Titus's shoulder, and he's watching this. This guy's just in a playground. Like, that's all he's doing. He's just going, it's a guy playing at an indoor playground. Like, it doesn't even look like an expensive one. And it's just, this room is like 30 feet by 40 feet. It's not very big. And it's just playing in a playroom. And that's it. That's all it is. And it's like, man, what is this show? Well, in a dad Facebook group that I'm in, I see another dad post about it. And Titus is not alone. He's not the only kid who's found this show. Like, everybody's kids are finding this show and watching it. And he is glued to it. We had to watch an episode tonight because he's got a little monster truck toy, and he starts singing this monster truck song like I'd never heard it before. My brother Googles it. Turns out it's from Blippi, and he pulls up the YouTube video and starts playing the video. Titus comes by. He sees it. He's like, oh, Blippi. And then as soon as the video was over, he's like, I need more Blippi now. Like, there's nothing you can do. Blippi now or Meltdown. Your choice. So we watched an episode of Blippi before we went to bed tonight. It's just the weirdest show.
All right. So I Googled Blippi. I just put in Blippi. B-L-I-P-P-I.
Yeah.
Actually, I put in B-L-I-P, and then, yeah.
It filled in the rest.
The first people also ask, how much does Blippi make a year?
That's what I'm wondering.
Stephen John, a.k.a. Blippi, makes roughly $22,400 per day on views alone.
Freaking
Stephen
insane.
John also has another Blippi channel called Blippi Toys with over 3 million subscribers. He makes roughly $18,800 per day with this channel, which ends up being around $7 million a year.
It's the craziest thing. So this guy, this Stephen John, I looked him up tonight too. We looked him up.
The second question: does Blippi have a wife?
Does Blippi have a wife? Some people, man. Some people. It's the weirdest show. The production quality seems super low, and I often wonder, like, is it just one dude? There's at least two. Like, he's at least got a camera guy.
Oh, yeah.
But all the editing is so cheesy. It's like they don't spend any money on this stuff, on this show, beyond basic iMovie editing. And this guy's raking in that much money? Like, it's crazy. He started on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, he's on YouTube.
And is now like an Amazon property. I don't know if he's an Amazon property, but now he's on. You can watch him on Amazon Prime.
Don't buy it on Amazon or anywhere else.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's free on Amazon too.
Netflix.
It's not on Netflix. Titus found it because it's an Amazon thing. They put it on his tablet, and he found it and clicked it. Now he loves it. He loves Blippi. It is educational, at least.
It is,
and it seems to be on his level. Like I said, today's episode that we watched, He's going through naming the body parts, which is a little under Titus's age range. He knows his body parts at this point. That's more like Riley's speed. That's more like 1.5.
Yeah.
For age.
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll ask you what. Would you give it a 1 or a 0?
As a kid or a parent? I guess a parent is 0. I don't watch this show. Like, it's really stupid.
No, but like
as a kid, I haven't watched too much of it. Titus loves it. If you want to, I'd recommend if you would consider showing it to your kids, I'd watch an episode first, just like anything.
Yeah, of course.
But
of course.
Your kids are going to love it. I'd be surprised if you said your kids hated it.
I wouldn't. Do you remember our relationship? Oh, dude,
That's
I got
true.
something you're going to love. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. It's like when I told you the Kirkland Canadian whiskey was back, and you're like, "Oh, dude, that stuff sucks."
I don't like
What are you talking about? I went to Costco the next day and bought one.
Good. I don't hate Canadian whiskey. I just, I prefer bourbon. I want my American whiskey.
They got Kirkland bourbon there too. I don't think I've had the Kirkland bourbon.
I haven't. I can't bring myself to buy it because it's not cheap.
I didn't see how much it was. I just know that the Canadian whiskey is $18.
Well, yeah, like the Kirkland brand rum. They're spiced rum. They're Captain Morgan.
It's like $14.
Yeah, you get the same handle of Captain Morgan, $30 for 100 proof.
Ridiculous.
But so the Bullet Bourbon, $55 at Costco, right? Which is a great deal because it's $64 at Publix.
Yeah,
and I think the Costco bourbon is like $45. And if I'm spending $50, I'm just gonna spend the $50 and buy the Bullet. So buy the Bullet, not bite the Bullet.
Buy the Bullet. Sure. Yeah, check out Blippi. See if it's for your kids. It's a really stupid show, but Titus loves it.
The reason I asked you is because there's a lot that she wants to learn. She wants to watch something. I can put on Frozen, and she loves Frozen. She loves The Lion King. But it's like,
right. But those are entertaining. They're not learning anything.
But even apart from learning and just for entertainment value, she can't relate to any of that. Like they're all too grown up. Like either they're dumb and remember the Wonder Pets?
I remember. I never watched it.
Yeah, I had a niece who's 13 now. When it was real popular, so a niece, good friend's kid that I hung out with a lot. Watched a lot, but it was. I mean, I thought it was funny. It was kind of cool, but it's like this is just stupid, and it's going to give kids a speech impediment, right? Because one of the characters had one.
Yeah,
which is great for representation, but like maybe we don't want our kids not speaking properly. And then there was the Imagination Movers, which was probably the same thing as Blippi. It was actually really good, and they would sing songs, and it had a really good editing. So I don't know.
He watched a lot of Sesame Street, and he learned a lot from Sesame Street.
We've talked about that, and I have never liked it.
Was a big thing for him, but now our deal with him is in the mornings, on weekday mornings, we either don't watch TV or it has to be educational before he goes to school. During the weekdays,
before he goes to school. So what so we had the similar rule when I was growing up, where we just didn't watch TV during the week, but we could watch TV like after the homework was done. You could turn on the TV for something educational. Loved Discovery Channel and National Geographic. Like grew up on that stuff. But what do you count as educational? Like is Blippi educational or like Shark Week educational?
I mean, for Titus's age, I really hope he doesn't want to watch Blippi in the mornings. Like that's going to really ruin my day. I do not want to start my day with Blippi. We actually, because we have an Amazon Fire Stick, when you watch Amazon Prime, it won't just like they have the recent episodes or the recent like apps you've opened.
Yep.
When it's Amazon Prime, they just put the episode. So like Blippi is now on the homepage, and I made sure to remove that because I do not want Titus to see Blippi every time we turn the TV on. Every time. Oh my gosh. I really hope he doesn't have to watch Blippi tomorrow morning. So we offer him Sesame Street, which he's really not into anymore, which is a bummer because we want Riley to watch it because Titus learned so much from it. Riley can learn from it too. Sesame Street, we offer Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We offer Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood.
Yeah.
That one's a little older. We offer, it's called Esme and Roy. It's on the PBS app. It's the Monster Sitters.
I don't know.
That one, there's not much to learn from that show except one thing. Like every episode is about a monster having a meltdown, and how are we going to calm this monster down? So that's kind of the lesson that they teach. Every episode is like, this monster's upset. How are we going to calm it down? But you take those things and you apply it to your kid. Your kid's having a tantrum. How can we calm down from having a tantrum?
So the kid is the monster.
Yes, the monsters are the kids. They're monster babysitters.
I thought it was more like Daniel Tiger, where every episode Daniel Tiger's got a meltdown, and we have to learn how to
Sure.
deal with our
Similar.
problems.
Similar, but it's more of the same thing.
Okay.
Like the two main characters will get called to babysit this monster. The parent will say like, "Okay, you guys have fun, but he has to do X. This has to happen today." And the kid never wants to do it.
Of course.
So it's like, how can I get the kid to do the thing he doesn't want to do? The kid has a meltdown when I ask him to do it. How can I calm the kid down and then make it fun? Make it a game.
Huh.
So Daniel Tiger, I guess, is pretty similar, where it's like Daniel Tiger has a meltdown himself, and now it's like, okay, the songs in Daniel Tiger are pretty catchy, and so we try to use that to,
Do you?
They have a potty episode.
Yeah.
And now I can't remember how that one goes.
That's funny. I'll have to look that
But
one
it's
up.
like when you have to go potty, like the whole lesson is whatever you're doing will be there when you get back. Like we can pause this so you can go potty and then come back. The blocks will still be here.
Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us today on Dad Shoes. We would really appreciate it if you would share this with your friends. Help us get the word out. If you have any feedback for us on our podcast, you can reach out to us on Twitter at DadShoesPod or email us at dadshoespod@gmail.com. What do you do when your spouse is away? We'd love to hear from you. We would also appreciate it if you would leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again for hanging out.
And if you don't have a spouse, watch Blippi and let us know what you think.
Peace.
Bye.